Decision fatigue is real, and it's related to the strength of your habits. Welcome to this week's Infinity Health 365 Mindset Coaching. Today, I want to talk to you about why it's so stinking hard to be good after a stressful day at work. And it all starts with the habits and the wire and fire connections that you've created in your brain. Yes, it always comes back to our brains. So just think about how many times you've actually eaten against your will, and you've eaten when you don't even feel hungry. If you're like me, it actually happens all the time, or at least fairly routinely. So imagine this, and I know you can. You've eaten a healthy lunch, but you still find yourself eating a second lunch just minutes or an hour later. It's that craving that you just want to eat something more. But here's the strange thing about that, is we actually do want to eat what nourishes us, and we do want to eat on plan. But this cycle of overeating and emotionally eating for no real reason, it just keeps happening. So why is that? It's the million-dollar question, right? Why do you eat food that might not even taste good, and especially when you're not even hungry, but you just can't stop? When you can answer that question, you start to create lasting weight loss, health, and happiness. You already know there are lots and lots of plans out there that can help you lose weight, because losing weight's not the problem, right? There are plans that will give you lip service that if you just do this, you'll lose weight. And you probably will, but you won't keep the weight off long term. That's the problem. See, these plans might tell you when to eat, what to eat, and how much to eat, and more, but seriously, those are just the mechanics. That's the minutia of weight loss. The only solution for permanent weight loss is in addressing the emotional aspects of overeating. And then you've got to figure out what you're going to do about it. And that's what we do in our group, right? When you can stand back, recognize and be honest with yourself that you do eat to buffer out emotions that you don't want to feel, then you can start to take the steps to stop eating when you don't need to or you don't want to. So if you haven't already, please kick aside macros, calories, rules, plans, all of that stuff to the curb. But also, don't be fooled into thinking that you just need to start exercising, or that you need to eat, have like a superfoods detox with the best power shake or supplement, or even like, oh, I just need to eat healthy and eat clean to lose weight. That's not it, you guys. If you're still thinking and saying that these actions that are just going to be the magic bullet, well, that's a big red flag that you're still headed in the wrong direction with the wrong tools, and that you are still indulging in overwhelm and decision fatigue. So I want you to stop. Finding the right plan will not happen. Exercising more or using the right workouts is short-lived. And the same goes for willpower, working too hard, beating yourself up, and lots of energy to decide what to eat. It's all decision fatigue. It's time to get to work on what really matters, and the only thing that matters. And that's what we do in our Infinity Health 365 group. The only way to create permanent weight loss is to completely stop using food to feel better. Because let's be honest, you can even drink a protein shake and have a healthy salad to bury your emotions that you don't want to feel. And just because a protein shake might create lean muscle or rev up your metabolism, well, there's no protein shake that will change your relationship with using food to avoid feeling your emotions. When you stop overeating, you start saying yes to feeling the full range of human emotions, the easy, the good, the bad, the hard emotions too. But that can also feel scary, because if you haven't done that before, then it takes time to figure out how to be okay with feeling awful, to feel gut-wrenching stress or pain, and then having a legitimate excuse of food and not using it anymore. I hope you're starting to get behind this concept, because truly the only answer to losing weight long term is to stop asking food to give you a boost for dealing with your emotions. And yes, again, I know it's scary. So you might be thinking that you don't eat emotionally, but if you eat outside of any true hunger cues, then you are most definitely emotionally eating and overeating. So it makes sense that you're yo-yo dieting and not experiencing permanent weight loss, but so many people don't want to admit they're emotionally eating. So you know the routine. You scramble home from work, starving and stressed, and you might even have a meal plan and even dinner prepped. But the wine, the pretzels, or a handful of mixed nuts are just calling your name. Sound familiar? It's almost always in the afternoon. So You eat not to feel overwhelmed, not to feel stressed, not to feel uncomfortable, even when you're in your safe haven at home, because it's easier to push back your problems and your pain by just eating and numbing out the pain. Or maybe eating just to make yourself even feel better than you already did. But this type of eating is so automated for most women because you've done it time and again, so it becomes a way of life. It becomes a habit. It literally becomes ingrained in you and who you are. And it's not that you think about it either. The end of a stressful day with snacking just becomes a part of who you are. It's what you do. Seriously, creating healthier habits like not snacking the minute you walk in, it really shouldn't be this hard. And I know you agree with me on that. But I want you to hang on because I've got some good news for you that I hope makes you feel a whole lot better about it. First, I want you to know you are not the problem. You are not the problem. In fact, it all comes down to one thing, big surprise, your brain. See, your brain actually prefers habits, and it's designed to turn you into a creature of habit. It's actually geared for recognizing a situation and then just offering up the same solution that it always does. It's like brushing your teeth. Your brain recognizes that nighttime is when you brush your teeth before bed. Same with the morning. And you take all the steps in the same order. It's an automated habit because your brain sees the same situation and it gets into action without any decision making. No drama, no working hard, no willpower, no beating yourself up. You just do it. See, this is neuroplasticity, which is your brain's ability to adapt and change its structure and function according to your behaviors and circumstances. So then you don't have to be making all these decisions and staying stuck with all this decision fatigue. And that's actually great news because it means you can use neuroplasticity to work in your favor. So you create automatic habits that support permanent weight loss rather than indulging and engaging in decision fatigue and being overwhelmed with what to eat, when to eat, whether it should be fast food or exercise, food, calories, on and on and on. So let's just agree that your brain is efficiently working in the background. Your brain actually wants you to become a creature of habit, to recognize a situation and offer the same solution that's worked before. This is a painless and efficient system. When you are in pain, your brain helps you. When you feel good, your brain wants you to feel even better. And without this efficient signaling of automated habits, well, honestly, we wouldn't get anything done. You'd be stuck all day because there are just too many decisions to make. We would literally drown in decision fatigue, trying to decide which emails to read, what food to eat, what to wear, when to brush your teeth, when to go to bed, and on and on and on. You'd go crazy because you have 50 to 70,000 thoughts daily. A lot of them are decision-making thoughts. So having efficient and automated signaling is actually great. But here's the shortcoming of your brain. When it comes to habits, your brain is not necessarily deciding if you'll have a good or a bad outcome. It's just following that same algorithm of decision-making from a place of the automated habituation. But this works against you, my friends, because when you do something enough times, like brushing teeth, your brain doesn't even consider whether or not you really enjoy it or whether it creates a positive or negative outcome for your body or life. It just keeps signaling you to do the same thing again and again and again. So shortcuts for automatic habits and behaviors actually work against you. That's why it's not your fault. Your repeated habits literally thicken and strengthen the connection between neurons so that your brain just keeps taking the path of least resistance. That's why you dry your hair the same way, you drive to work the same way, you eat the same things mostly, and you probably even eat at the same times, right? You probably even say some of the same types of things. So the good news is that your brain is adaptable, and these well-established neural connections, the wire and fire, are not long-lasting. You can actually change it. It's neuroplasticity. So this means you have to start making different choices to weaken the neural connections, weaken the wire and fire. Because when you make different choices, weak connections break easily and stronger connections fray and disappear over time because your brain is adaptable your whole life. So back to eating emotionally and overeating each afternoon after a stressful day. You've probably dealt with your emotions by eating food for a long, long time without realizing it, because food is a necessary part of life and a big part of the human experience. It's just what we do. It's socially acceptable. Your brain downregulates repeated thoughts and beliefs to the subconscious level in order to conserve energy, so you don't have to redecide every time that you think about things and making decisions every day in your life. However, when this happens, it can feel like our interpretations, our processing of reactions to the world around us just happens, and it's just totally outside of our control. Our thoughts and beliefs will start to feel factual, believable, and true, but they're not factual. They're just our interpretations, our processing of the facts. But by causing awareness to bring those subconscious thoughts and beliefs to the conscious level, you'll see that you have more control over your experience of the world around you than you previously thought. My friends, if you want to stop snacking each afternoon, you can. But it requires that you change how you are using food to make yourself feel better by pushing back on those ants, those automatic negative thoughts, and questioning your thoughts to know if they're really true. It means you delay the gratification of the afternoon snack and you break that habit, the wire and fire of neuroplasticity. You allow yourself to feel hard emotions and you start to ask what's truly causing you to have negative thoughts. You drill down to the real issues that you've been asking food to solve for you, so you can stop overeating and start feeling better to show up in the life and the body that you want. This is a multi-step process, friends. It is ideal to work with a coach, ideally me, through this. So I hope you've scheduled your monthly coaching session, or at least hopped on our weekly group coaching each Monday. Start breaking up with bad habits this weekend. Stop indulging in decision fatigue and use neuroplasticity to start getting the results that you want in life and the results that you deserve.